this is a first-person horror narrative experience. And the game took me a couple hours to get through. It's not super long. This is one of those games where you want to play it all the way through in one sitting, and you'll get the best experience out of it. Now, I wasn't able to play this game controller, unfortunately, but because the game didn't require really stealth or too much action or anything, it was fine to get through. This game is mostly a walking simulator, which is a style of game that I really enjoy, so I appreciated the gameplay. If you like layers of fear like I do, then this game is going to be up your alley. You're playing this sort of detective person that's going in this virtual reality world, and you're trying to figure out this crime and figure out what's going on inside this hospital. And what is cool about this game is it does take you kind of through the same sort of environment, at least in the beginning. You might go through and then something happens and you sort of go through a loop of sorts, and maybe a door opens and the room looks different or something like that. In the meantime, you have a little characters hanging around that might jump and spook you a little bit. But again, you don't have to run and hide. It's just narrative storytelling. So the game controlled it pretty well. There was an inventory sort of system where you can collect certain items that you might need for later, like a key. The very interesting part is that you have a lighter. And the lighter, you have to constantly make sure you have oil, gas in it to light it up, because sometimes it will die out eventually. And I will say I did find that a little frustrating that you have to go into the menu and then select to like fill up the lighter, and there just wasn't like a quick button press for that, because they had a quick button press to like open and close the lighter and to light it, but you had to go into the menu to like select it to put more gas and fuel in the lighter. So I thought that was a weird choice. There is a way to examine stuff. You can look at an item, and sometimes you might be able to examine it further by tilting it a certain way so you can get more information out of it. And the game will let you know. Other ones, you just look at a one-time sort of deal. And there is some puzzle element to this game. There is one or two little puzzles you will come across, but they're not too complicated. You just basically have to look around the environment or look at a series of notes, and the answer will be there for you. You just gotta pay attention and figure out what you need. But once you see what you need, the actual puzzle itself isn't that complicated. So for me, who likes puzzle games but sometimes struggle with it, I was able to get through this pretty quickly. And that's the thing, the game just kind of flows from one scene to the next, and it was an interesting narrative experience once you get to the end. Now, having said that too, the story is very dark and kind of disturbing, so just pre-warning on that. It is very sensitive about certain topics, and I can't really spoil it, but just make sure to know that going in. The story is really kind of dark and messed up in this. But the voice acting was interesting. It was okay. The game ran well mostly overall. It had a few hiccups here and there, but not too bad. And then the only thing is that sometimes you could see where you're going without the lighter, which was kind of cool. So you don't have to constantly keep it on all the time, but you do have the lighter on you most of the time. Like 95% of the time in this game, you're going to want the lighter on to kind of see where you're going. Sometimes you need it to even look at certain objects and stuff. But yeah, this is one of those games you're going to be walking around and you might look into a wall and then there'll be no place to go. Then you turn around and the whole room has changed and stuff like that. It's one of those. So if you like this style of game, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's not too long. It gets you in there. And it's not necessarily particularly scary, at least for me, and didn't feel that way. But it's a nice little time, maybe a good game to stream.